What's up, guys? Professor Bill, Comic Book University. How's everybody doing today? We chilling out over here. How y'all doing over there? Who talks like that? Somebody, I don't know, some what do you call it, area down south talks like that. Of course, down south to me right now is America. So anyway, what's going on, everybody? Mark Guerrero is here. What's going on, Mark? Karen Gillan wants to play Batgirl. She would be great. But she is too old to play the role with Robert Pattinson as Batman. Okay, two things. One, Karen Gillan also wants to direct. So direct and star. That's a big freaking deal. Wow. Like, she's taking on a bit, I think. Can she do it? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe. She's proven herself before. As far as being too old, I think it depends. Like, can she play Oracle instead of Batgirl? Or is it a matter of who cares? Because as long as she can still physically do this stuff, then what's it matter? You know what I'm saying? And I'm not talking about doing her own stunts, right? But also, here's the big thing that's kind of crushing me. These guys are not ready for a combined universe, a joined universe. We've already seen that. You know what I'm saying? They're not. So I think that instead of, Robert Pattinson is this, and she's that age. I don't care. Plus, I'm totally okay with being with an older woman. I'm just saying. I don't know if Robert Pattinson would have a problem with that. Does anybody here think that Karen Gillan is not pretty? I'm just saying, man. Whatever, man. It is what it is. But other than that, yeah, honestly, I just don't think that they should be trying to do the combined world. Marvel does it. Doesn't mean that everybody else has to do it. Like, it's cool. For me, it's totally cool. So what else going on here? Cryptid. What's going on, Cryptid? What's up, Professor Bill? I guess I must have spent too much time on your channel because I just got my first cold in 5 years. Okay, F you, man. F you. Cryptid, of course, referring to the fact that I'm always getting sick. Dude, man, I got two kids in two different schools, plus my wife who commutes to work. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, I sit at home. I work from home. I do this. I do my English language stuff. I write. I do all my crazy little things and whatnot. And I do it all from here. All right. The only time I really go out is when I go out to do some food shopping and whatnot because the wife doesn't want to. Like, I get sick. All right. Because I've got people that just they go to different places and whatnot. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. It's not my fault. Let's see. There you are. Yes, here I am. What's going on, Deputy Sheriff Corey? Boom. Martin P. What's up? There you are. Whatever, it's good. What's up on this Eminem album? Oh, dude, the Eminem album. See, I didn't listen to the whole album. Basically, if anybody doesn't know, what's going on, Victor? How you doing? If anybody doesn't know, the brand new Eminem album just dropped like 2 nights ago, and it was literally like, hey, by the way, guys, wow, and they dropped the whole freaking album. M was awesome with that. I didn't get the chance to listen to the whole thing yet. I didn't actually buy the whole thing yet, only what I saw available on YouTube, on Vivo. So I listened to the prologue, the introduction, basically, which was hot. Man, that was a thumping beat. Wow. I was listening to that. I'm just like, I'm doing things and I'm listening to that and I'm like, okay, he's trying to kill people. Okay, whatever. It's probably Kim, his ex-wife, or his baby's mama and all that, whatever. I'm just like doing my thing. And all of a sudden it goes to the beat. I'm just like, like, wow, that was straight dope. I'm like, holy crap, that was hard. This is America. You remember that beat? Like when he starts doing "This is America," don't you be like all that? Like when that beat starts hitting it, I'm like, damn, oh man, this is just like, it got hot. This was fire. This was fire, man. Holy crap. M walked in that studio, a regular mildly dressed man. He flew out there as Superman on fire. That was hot. The second song that I heard, which is the first full-length song on the album, I thought it was pretty cool. It was, it was whatever. But that Darkness song, those are the only three songs I actually listened to. I didn't listen to the whole thing yet. But that Darkness, I actually watched the video for that. I was deep. And I'm telling you right now, man, I'm telling you right now, that is a hot button topic. I mentioned this on Twitter. I'm not going to sit here and say the rap world is violent. But at the same time, you could look at videos and not know anything else about the rap world. And what's your mentality going to be about the rap world, right? And I was young before hip hop was a thing. When all of a sudden hip hop came out and it was like, hip hop to hip hop with a hippity hop and you don't stop. Like, dude, I was there. Right? I was there rapping about basketball. I didn't even play at the time. You know what I'm saying? But I'm telling you right now, like it was the thing and it was cool. And all of a sudden rap came into it. And like, I know there's like Eric B and Rakim and all these people like that. It's like, it is what it is. But when NWA came on the stage, that was clearly a whole different genre right there. They were talking about shooting people up. They were talking about killing rivals, killing cops, killing everything that came close to them. It was like, holy crap, that was wicked. So there is that violent ideal right now. There's a lot of people who reveled in the idea. Yeah, rap music is violent and angry and evil. Nah. Well, now who's considered violent and evil and white people who live down south who have lax gun laws? Suddenly it's not fun anymore, right? Hold on. Super chat. Let me go and check out this super chat, which showed up someplace. Hello. Alan Russett, what's up? Thank you for $10 Canadian. Oh, you're Canadian also. What's up? Hey, Press, just I dropped some nickels in the jar. Well, I genuinely appreciate the nickels. And what do we got here? You know what? Let's here we go. I just kind of modified this a little bit. My cyborg. I've got two of them, but this one I actually put some tissue in there because actually I have three because I got a cyborg from one of the stores, whatever, for my kids. So they have a cyborg. It's not nearly as articulated as this, but it came with this thing, and I stole it from there. Whatever, deal with it. Anyway, so he just came, regular, and I decided I put this with the big tissue inside so I can boop, so that this way he can modify his hand and get the gun hand. You know what I'm saying? And just so boom, 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 boom. And I've got a grid, but like it's one of the 7-inch tall figures, so it's a little different. But anyway, so I'm good. So okay, yeah. I don't think I've ever used Cyborg before for the dances. So thank you very much, Alan Russett. Genuinely appreciated. The tip jar is always happy to be solicited. So, oh, and I should be fair and actually throw it up there. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. So yeah, I forgot that I can actually do this with the thing. So anyway. So anyways, right now it's like it's white people who are under the gun, and I'm talking about specifically people from like Texas. I think is getting the most. Florida could use a little bit more notice on there. I know that when I was in Georgia, they said also that all you need is I was only in Georgia, mind you, for Fort Benning. So we were all issued rifles, right? We were all issued some kind of weapon, but there you just had to have a driver's license and you could get a gun. And it's like, that's wicked, because like in my state of New Jersey, I couldn't even get firecrackers, of a certain brand and above. So it is what it is. Listen, my stance on guns, I know this hot button topic, I'm not here to cater to anybody. I'm here to tell you my opinion, and we can have a discussion. You know what I'm saying? My opinion on guns is I don't see the problem with people having guns as long as you're not stupid. And unfortunately, part of that involves having responsibility. You undeniably need to lock your cars because they're licensed products. Likewise, maybe consider locking your guns. Locking them in some kind of a cabinet where it's not so easy to get to. Because, if someone breaks into your car and steals your car and drives away and kills somebody, you shouldn't be held responsible for that. However, if you leave your car open and your kid takes your car, maybe you kind of should. So likewise, if a kid winds up stealing your gun because you didn't lock it and all that stuff, well, then maybe you should be held responsible for that also. We lock our cars, we should be locking our guns. I'm just saying, I'm pointing that out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, just it is what it is. But aside from that, I don't have a problem with that as long as people understand how to actually use your guns. That's it. That's it. And if you don't, you have to take a driving test before you get behind the wheel of a car. I think that a gun has shown that it can do a hell of a lot more damage than a car does. So maybe we should also have testing for that. I know that I had to qualify twice a year in the Army, where we get all the practice in the world shooting those things. And yet I still had to qualify. I had to officially register to qualify for something like that. Maybe, maybe. So M taking up this hot button topic, I think that's about as brave can get. I'm not joking. I'm not lying about that. It's something that really genuinely bothers him, and I'm glad that he's willing to take a stand. You know, rap has been about, like, if you're big into hip hop rap, you know, according to Nas, hip hop's dead. Shut Nas. No, it's not. Hip hop rap, it was always a way of telling about this is where I come from. This is what I do. This is, you know, what happens in my neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Not very different from comedians and, oh, here we go, comic books also, right? So if somebody's going to rap, sometimes they'll rap about, oh, this is me playing basketball. Oh, this is my neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? This is what happens in my neighborhood. NWA has been rapping about cops abusing their power and their privilege for a long time. So music for a long time has been about, this is social commentary. You know what I'm saying? So I don't understand why people are so upset over what M is doing. I mean, they're triggered somehow. If they think that he's promoting gun violence, I see it the exact opposite. But that's what a discussion is all about. That's exactly what a discussion is all about. So I don't know what to say. We can move on. Talk about something else. Tom's Comics and Reviews. Hey. Can I put a link in the comments to a Kickstarter? I don't know who you are, so it would be kind of a dick thing to do. Yeah, if like I don't go to Rob's channel and, you know, with my dinky little channel and start advertising my stuff there. I don't know who you are. I don't talk to you enough unless you're somebody I know. Anyway, whoa, no name, but hey, Burmese Jungle Boy, what's up? Chaz, that's Clark. It's Chaz now. I hate you so much. And this is a private discussion, well, kind of private discussion. I'm running 2 games right now. That's right. I started my 2nd game. So I got one of my games running. We just did our 3rd mission, and Chaz over here, Clark, is actually one of the players in it. And then I just started my 2nd game, which is actually going to be an Atlantis game. We just did the first of 2, or minimum of 2, session 0. So we're still, working out the characters and whatnot. Got 2 players. They're pretty awesome. I don't know. Might have some more room. You guys want to contact me on Facebook? We'll see what's what. Let's see. Mark talking about Kieran again. She's great, but she's the same age as Patterson. But she is the same age as Patterson. Barbara and Dick are supposed to be around the same age. Cool. Whatever. Whatever. Maybe she looks older and he looks younger. It doesn't bother me. Second Street Marvel. Oh, Second Street Marvel acknowledges Tom's existence. Cool. Now, everyone, it's this is true, but Mr. Professor Bill is not a complete invalid. That's true. I don't actually wear adult diapers yet. It's always so funny when I hear, because like I'm cool with people calling me old. People call me grandpa's a little weird because none of my kids have kids, so that's, it's whatever. And honestly, I'm all about understanding the psychology of people, and I understand projection. You know what I'm saying? So whenever somebody's like, "Hey, grandpa," "Hey, old man," I laugh my ass off because I'm like, dude, the amount of wisdom that I've accumulated over my 44 years on this earth surpasses anything that any young kid is going to come at me with. So I'm cool with it. You know what I'm saying? I might not know my phone the way that, you know, kids do, but brah, like, come at me. I will wreck you, you know? I may not know how to find this app and that and work these apps, but how many people here can actually break your phone down into the component parts and then put it back together again? How many people actually know how to solder? How many people know how to solder those little tiny components? How many people know those little tiny components are called 0402 components? I will freaking wreck anybody who comes at me. So bring it, kids. Anyway, but yeah, it doesn't bother me. I laugh them off. What do you call it? Yeah, but even then, a lot of these young kids who come at me and whatnot, like, dude, I am happy to have a foot race with you. I am happy to have a weightlifting contest with you. Like, bring the noise, baby. Like, let's do this. I can still do, and I do. I was just out playing in the snow with my kids. I can still officially do a combat roll standing, like stand up and just jump, roll over either my right or my left shoulder, get back up in a full standing position, like ready to go. Like I just did it not too long ago. And it was snowy concrete, but it's still concrete. It's like, dude, I'm good with it. I'm good with it. No, I'm not a complete invalid. Anyway, Reggie Simmons is here. What's going on, brother? How you doing? Oh, you ain't even talking to me. You're talking to the alumni. Shunned. What's going on, man? Let's see. Yes, the webcomics thing. I don't get into the webcomics too much, but I'm willing to. And I'm actually Facebook friends with Laura. Oh, wait, what's her name? Linda Sajik. I'm actually, yeah, Facebook friends with her because she's freaking awesome. She's an amazing artist. Like, it's like, does she? Wow, it's like her and Stefan Sajik. They're like kismet with the way they draw. I can barely tell the difference between the way that these two draw. It's freaking gorgeous. Paula, what's up, Paula? Oh, so I have got two people. Paula's one of them, and D. McElroy is the other, sending me some comic books. So if you guys want me to do a spotlight on story of something that you want to send me, by all means. And Paul is sending me a lot. She's sending me a lot. Like, whoa. But if y'all want me to do like a spotlight on the story, two things can happen. All you gotta do is send me the stuff. Send it to Gotham Central. You know what I'm saying? Because like Carlos is cool with it. Send something to Gotham Central, care of Professor Bill. You have to put that down. Otherwise, he puts it up on the shelves to sell it. You think I'm joking? He already did it with 4 comic books that were sent to me. All right, so think about that. Trade paperbacks, in fact. So anyway, yeah, make sure that you actually put care of Professor Bill. Gotham Central, Comics and Collectibles, care of Professor Bill. What is it? 114 Amiga Drive, Unit 1, Mississauga, Ontario, Canada, and then whatever the postal code is. Just go and check out any of my This Week in Comics videos that I put out every Tuesday evening in order to see. But anyway, you can send stuff to me there. But also send me a letter. I will read your letter right there in the thing. All right there in that video. I will open your stuff up and I'll check all that good stuff out, man. Yeah. and then I'll actually do a spotlight and story for the stuff that you send me. Depending on how much I get, depending on how much stuff gets thrown at me, I will try to do them quickly. All right. So anyways, yeah, boom, there you go. So there's that. Hey, Raven, what's going on, brother? Oh, choices. We're doing casting calls for Batgirl now. Honestly, I still kind of wish that what's his name was doing it, because what is it? Joss Whedon was still doing it. That was the whole reason why he was going to come over in the first place. He got suckered into taking over for Snyder to do his thing. Couldn't have known the amount of backlash he was going to get over that. Like the dude made the story cool, but it was the last part of the series, so everybody's just like, not everybody. It's just the people who hate it are particularly loud about it, you know? Anyhow, so yeah, like what's up with that? Anyway, so now apparently he's not going to do the Batgirl thing. He just doesn't want to do it anymore. Like he was already tired of doing team stories with the Avengers. That was the specific thing that he quoted. He says, well, quoted, he stated it. He's like, I don't want to do Avengers 3. I'm tired of doing these big team movies. It's too much effort. It's too much work. I don't want to do it anymore. And then he gets conned into doing, it's like, oh, you're going to come over here. Boom. Got to do Justice League. Got to finish up. It's like, so I can't even do my own Justice League movie. I got to do this guy's Justice League movie. And I got to do the changes that you guys are telling me to make. Yeah, it's no wonder he doesn't want to work for the WB. You know what I'm saying? Like, done. Raceland Major Ray. Hello, how are you? Yes, it has been a while. I'm going to remind people of my amazing memory. Thank God for my amazing memory. I remember the last time that you sent me something was actually over the Stan Lee thing that I did. I hope that you do not think that I'm a sexist and that I do not believe the women, because I do. But it was already proven that she didn't do that. And then afterwards, I was validated in that. So, sorry. Just pointing things out. What do you call it? Let's see. Sorry, didn't include a letter in the box. Oh, Paula, come on. It's all good. It's all good. It's no worries. If you want, send me an email afterwards. You got my email. Everybody should have my email. It's like right there. What do you call it? Send me an email and I'll read that instead. Or don't, whatever. You don't have to. It's like not mandatory. Whedon is the worst. How rude! If I can quote Jar Jar. Tim Board, what's going on? The master of Hawk World, Head Hawk. Hey, Professor, everybody. Finally saw Star Wars. About damn time. It was okay. My Hawk-addled brain couldn't help but think that Hawkman was a Skywalker in a former life. That would be a fun story. I 100% agree. I saw Venditti commented on you. Venditti doesn't want to talk to me, but apparently he talks to you. Whatever, I don't really care. Obviously, it bothers me a little bit. There's something there. But what do you call it? He did mention that one thing. He says the rights issues that you'd have to deal with in order to get that to happen. Yeah, but wouldn't it be freaking awesome? And wouldn't it be a really great way to get a little bit more love coming? So I'm just saying, if I'm DC, I'd be like, you know what? Venditti, if Venditti wants to do something like this, or if anybody wants to do something like this, like a one shot, why not? Why not have it say that, across time and space, he was actually a Skywalker at one point. Doesn't have to be Luke, doesn't have to be Ben, shouldn't be Anakin, but maybe he's somebody in the future. Doesn't have to be Jaden, or any of those, but he could be one of them. You know what I'm saying? At some point or another. Yeah. Let's see. Eddie White. Hey, Bill, what are some good mythology comic books to read? Indie or the big two? The Thor is the best selling of all of the comic books that have to do with mythology. And that's if you don't actually just want to go and buy, like, I don't know, Bullfinch's mythology has been proving wrong a lot of times. When you actually look specifically with the Norse mythology, which has always been my favorite. You go, like, J.R.R. Tolkien has gotten Norse mythology more right than Bullfinch's mythology, for crying out loud. But, once they start actually doing better translations of the Old English and like the Elder Edda and so forth, so on and so forth, the Prose Edda, but it still exists. There's still some good stuff out there. There's actually a bunch of good mythology, but if you want to do actual comic books, honestly, I would just stick with Thor. I don't think anybody else has really done it quite the same way. And probably none more so right now than the future aspect of, like, possibly post Ragnarok. That's Walter Simonson's Ragnarok story. So consider that's in IDW comic books. After that, consider Thor. After that, maybe Wonder Woman. I can't think of anything offhand on that, but Wonder Woman's not bad per se. You know what I'm saying? Just remember that it is the idea that these are the old gods, the third generation of old gods out of the three generations that have happened so far. Well, the four generations, the fourth generation is actually the new gods, and that's where the real focus is. And it's heavily convoluted because that was the original idea that Jack Kirby had was fourth god or the fourth generation of gods here. You know the because like all the other ones have been destroyed, the new gods. So the fourth world. Sucks that Josh Whedon isn't going to do Batgirl. I agree. I agree. Yeah, Whedon will be fine. Whedon will be perfectly fine. Sue Ann, what's going on, Sue Ann? Howdy, Professor and class. Well, how you doing, Sue Ann? How you doing? Beep, 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 beep. Sue Ann, we should get you in on the game. If you I know that Sue Ann writes her own comics. I don't know if you guys saw the Christmas episode. Sue Ann actually showed up in the episode, and she was talking about what do you call her comic book that's coming out. Really looking forward to it. Know the artist personally. Totally awesome guy. Extremely talented, like frighteningly talented. So there's that. Anyhow, Sue Ann, you should get in on the game that we got doing right now, the Atlantis campaign. I kind of wish you would, but we'll see if you got time. If you got time, it's every Thursday at 9 p.m. Our time, Toronto time. Let's see. Racelet. Yeah, it's kind of a curse sometimes. Like having a really good memory is actually kind of a curse sometimes because somebody says something and they forget that they said something, whatever, and then you remember it, and it's like, but the other person forgets. It's like, wow, conveniently, right? And it's like it's still there. So it's one of those things, but whatever. It's also like a whatever thing. And you weren't a jerk about it. So there's that. Potter World and Laura and I. Corey's really pushing those, man. But definitely consider it. Check out Corey's comment here, because yes, if you want to get into some good webcomics, specifically the Lore Olympus stuff, yeah, that could actually work really well. They're webcomics, Eddie White, so you can find them just by going on the internet. Look them up in a Google search. What do you think of the new X books coming out? I don't know until they actually come out. No, I haven't. Allow me to put my wife on the spot. Hey, babe. Yeah. Hi, Bagel. So, some of the guys in chat are asking if I watched Joker yet. I bought it 3 days ago. And didn't you say something when I said, let's watch it tonight? What did you say? I have a headache. No, can't hear you.
I have a headache and I don't want to watch it now.
Yeah. Oh, hey, guys, does my sound suck because I don't have my thing on? Anyway, she said we'll watch it tomorrow were her exact words. That was 2 nights ago.
Yeah. So tomorrow we can watch it.
Oh, you're done. I'm watching it tonight. I don't care. Anyway, okay, I'm leaving. Well, careful, Bagel's head. Huh? Hal, go to bed. Hal.
Yeah, he's coming.
All right, good night.
Good night, Dad.
Love you guys.
Love you.
Monsters. Bagel. Hello, Bagel. So anyway, does my sound suck? Because you know what? Whatever. I'm gonna put on my headphones anyways because it'll definitely sound better. I believe it should sound better. I totally forgot to put them on. Hello, Bagel. Let me plug this guy in. Give it a couple seconds to actually recognize. Hopefully we're doing the headphones now. Anyway, we'll see. And this mic specifically. Mommy, Daddy, don't fight. We ain't fighting. Cryptid, what's going on, brother? So, Professor, how do you feel about robots getting civil rights? Because does that apply to Sentinels? So who do I root for between Sentinels and Mutants? Well, actually, I love this idea. And thank you for the super chat. It's a robot thing, huh? Let's see. Who should I? Oh, you know what? I got a robot right here. And I just dropped Mary Marble. I'm sorry, Mary. Here, let's do a one of the Manhunters. based off of Jack Kirby's design for the Manhunter. Anyway, get back up there, bud. And again, thank you for the super chat there, Core. So, what do we have here? I think there's a great idea that really should be investigated a little bit more. See, it's not necessarily robots getting civil rights, it's AI getting civil rights. And I believe that that is 100% valid. That yes, they should get, in comic books, we're talking about in comic books, right? But I would imagine even in real life, yeah, robots should get, if you are independently thinking, if you understand cogito ergo sum, or if you have the capability of understanding it, then yes, 100%. You know what I'm saying? If you are an actual sentient creature. Now, sentinels are not sentient creatures. But anyway, still, like it just doesn't make sense to me that they wouldn't get civil rights. And I love the idea that this is being talked about in Dan Slott's Iron Man comic book right now, Iron Man 2020. I love the idea that and it's been talked about in the Tony Stark Iron Man book that he was doing right before this. I love the idea of that. And if he really starts working with that, continues as he's been going, I think the book could be fantastic. Just don't make it silly. You know what I'm saying? Don't make it quite so silly all the time. It's like I just don't like silly comic book that immediately like draws me away from the whole topic. I'm not interested in that. I actually want to get into like some really good stuff, you know? Um, what's up, Bagel Bagel? What, you want to leave? Okay, I'll let you go. Sorry, don't want you to be trapped. Okay, I'm not going with you. Either you're going or you're not. Go ahead. Get out of here. Go, 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 go. Go ahead. Go ahead. Yes, I love you too, my bagel bagel, but I'm going to need to close the door now. You're coming right back in. I'm not doing this again. I'm not doing this again. Okay, so she's still in here with us. Hello, my bagel bagel. I love you too. So anyway, yeah, I think that it's a great idea, and they should definitely, definitely keep on doing that. Um, tell the wife that she's amazing. Oh, sorry, I just missed you there, Swan. Okay, come on up, bagel bagel. I will pick you up. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, my kitty, kitty. My beautiful kitty, kitty. Let me lower this a little bit so y'all can see Bagel on my lap. Hello, kitty. At least you can see. At least you can see her tail. Let's see. What do we got here? F Sentinels, Mutants Forever, right? Well, at least Sentinels could then be. See, that's the thing. Sentinels are just robots. They're not AI. You can't punish someone for their programming, right? And even if their mind was messed up, it'd be like, oh no, oh no. You know what I'm saying? Like, Manchurian candidate kind of idea. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's so much that you could do with the idea of, should robots get rights? Yes, they should. For me, yes, undeniably, AI. But as far as actual robots, they're just automatons. They don't mean anything. You know what I'm saying? That would be like saying that my mechanical pencil, deserves rights. You know what I'm saying? Because I can click, 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 click. Um, let's see. Everyone loves, of course, everybody loves the bagels. Can we add Miss Bill to the list of people Joker didn't need to be successful? China, all those people that called it toxic ever since it was announced. Yeah, I didn't watch it yet because I did want to watch it with my wife, but I do own it on Blu-ray. I am going to I just bought it a couple nights ago, and I was trying to wait to watch it with her, but yeah, she's been like really not depressed, but like yeah, depressed. If you guys ever read Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, which I'm telling you, it's a freaking amazing book, and it will genuinely help you out in life with relationships to understand one. If you're a guy and you read it, you'll understand yourself a lot better too, and understanding women also. It's a general book, it's not a specific book, so you still have to talk to each other and actually understand each other better, but make absolutely no mistake whatsoever, it's a freaking amazing book. But anyway, there's the one thing in that book that talks about how when women will get high points where they're really happy and they could do a million things, and sometimes they'll get to a low points where it's just like, I just need to crawl up in bed with the covers over my head and ignore the world. You know what I'm saying? And a woman literally has to reach those low points sometimes. She has to, there's the idea that she falls down a well. This is the language that's given. What happens?
Um, a lot of times, a woman will say like, "Oh, I'm just not feeling good" and whatnot, and other women, friends, other women will sympathize and just let her be. Men, however, we're the fixers. We have to fix things. So it'll be like, oh, well, babe, don't feel bad. Smile. You'd be pretty if you smiled more. God. My God. Anyway, it's the idea they're always trying to, oh, let me perk you up. But a woman doesn't want that. A woman doesn't need that. The idea of hitting bottom, by falling in the well, you actually have to hit the bottom in order to bounce up. If you try to stop her from hitting the bottom, then she's just hanging there and there's still this thing called gravity. But if you can hit the bottom, that's how you can start to bounce right back up. So sometimes a woman just needs to get into that whole like, okay, you know what? I just need to exit out the world for a minute. And man, like understanding that, saying like when she gets into moods like that, when any woman is, when I feel like any woman is in that kind of place, oh, you want to play with Mary Marvel? Okay, here you go. Then it makes it easier to just be like, oh, I just need to back off. Don't feel insulted. Don't feel this. Don't feel that. Just literally, just walk away. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna everything will be better later. And it's just it makes for all relationships, I think, be better. Like I said, it's a freaking amazing book. Definitely consider getting it. Let's see. Bagel versus Baby Yoda. First off, Mark, you already lost because it's Yiddle, okay? And anybody who's watched my reviews of The Mandalorian knows it is not Baby Yoda, it's Yiddle. So right away, at least you know Bagel's name. So right away, that's a win. That's a win for Bagel. All right. Whoa, 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 whoa. You're not going to give me a kiss? Hey. No, no, that doesn't mean food. Come here. I'm not going to get a kiss. You're not going to give me a kiss. Am I getting a no means no? Like, what is this? Anyway, okay. Never, ever, ever tell a woman to smile unless you have a good dentist. Paul is awesome. Jamal Lewis, love your work. Thank you. Thank you very much, Jamal. Love your comment. I don't see why being told to smile is suddenly such a bad thing. I've been told to smile in the past. Sure, it's annoying, but it's really something to be mad about. Well, here's the thing. If you imagine this, let me try and put you in the mindset. If one of your parents just died and someone comes up to you and you're just like, you're just sad and you're trying to like make sense of the world and whatnot, and someone comes up and you're like, you should smile more. That's a really, why don't you just smile? Just smile. Like, I think every single person in the chat watching this later, every single person knows that would be a trigger that would get somebody to probably snap and be like, what the fuck do you know? Why don't you shut your stupid mouth? My father just died. You're going to tell me that I should smile? I should smile about that? Huh? You don't know anything? Shut your mouth. Mind your business. That's exactly what I think most of us would say, and rightfully so. But that's guys. On average, most women I find don't usually do that. They just kind of buckle up and it's like, I know that I'm not in the right place right now. I don't need to be responding to this person. As long as that's the only thing this idiot says, then I'll be okay with it. And at that particular moment, yes, in that person's mind, you're an idiot. Are you an actual idiot in real life? That's up to you. I don't think so, but we all have the pejoratives that we use for each other when we're in a bad mood. If I'm in a bad mood and somebody, bumps into me because they're looking down their phone and whatnot, I'd be like, hey, watch out, jackass. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what's the matter with you? Freaking look up from your freaking phone. What is it, GPS on there not pointing out that I'm here? I guess not. So freaking pay attention to where you're walking. Like it bothers me. You know what I'm saying? And I might say, and what's somebody gonna do? Would you just call me? You want to fight now? Bud, I highly recommend you reconsider your life choices. You definitely don't want to fight me just because I called you a jackass because your jackass self just bumped into me. Recognize when we've done something that probably isn't such a great idea. Like, why would anyone ever walk up to a complete stranger, male or female, and say, maybe you should just smile more, or you'd be pretty if you smiled more? Maybe I don't want to be pretty. Maybe I don't want to be pretty for you. So like just it's one of those things. And if you think that there's nothing wrong with it, cool. But there are other people who do. And They're 100% entitled to their opinion, just as you are. So, you know what I'm saying? Just it is what it is, man. Is what it is. Sue Ann, I do that whole under the covers thing. There you go. As for the Joker, I found it awesome, but probably not the best movie. If you don't feel down for it, she should see Frozen 2 as a a simple favor is awesome. Okay, I don't even know what Simple Favor is, but might check that out. And yeah, she's actually been wanting to take the kids to go see Frozen 2. Um, might work. Might work. What would be the other viable pantheons from other societies that could provide good story? Or, I think I understand what you're saying. For any, excuse me, comic firms, what would be viable pantheons? Sumerian. Sumerian's pretty much where it all started. You know what I'm saying? So do like the Epic of Gilgamesh, his long, ridiculous walk to Ishtar. Um, Beautiful stories. You know what I'm saying? Seeing like this is if you're into Jung, like psychology and the idea of the shadow, or even Freud and the idea of the shadow. Consider this because there's actually the doppelganger mythos is, I believe, for the first time ever written right there. You know what I'm saying? In that story, there was actually a doppelganger of Gilgamesh made. And there's just so much to look into. Like right there, it's such a great pantheon. If you mean what movie or something like that could be a comic book. I just got finished watching A Never-Ending Story with my kids recently, and holy crap, they were so into it. And I was 10 when I first saw it. My kids are 4 and 6 right now, and they were still. My younger son wasn't really into it that much, but my 6-year-old, oh heck yeah, he was just like, "Why is this happening? What happened with that? Hold on, is this that one person that we just saw before? Oh wow!" And like he was really into it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, yeah, because he's in first grade. He's just starting to experience bullying. You know what I'm saying? First time I was ever punched by another person was like somebody outside of my family was a fourth grader. There was a fourth grader when I was in first grade. I just started in this one new school, first grade, and this fourth grader punched me in my eye because he saw me clowning around with these other two kids who were in my grade, but they're also a lot smaller than me. Turns out later on that this guy who bullied me for like the entire school year, I found out that he actually thought that I was a dummy, a big dummy who was left back a couple of years because I was as tall as him. Yeah. So he thought that I was bullying these other kids. And then even when people told him no, he's a first grader, he still chose to pick on me. Fourth grader. Think about that. Someone who is so much older than me, so much more mature and developed than I am, punched me right in my eye, like directly in my left eye, and just boom. And like, I didn't even know how to react. I couldn't even cry because my first grader mind couldn't comprehend what the frick happened. So my 6-year-old, yeah, he's in his school and it's a French immersion school, and there's these the fourth grader and a fifth grader who came up, and a ball like flew over and he picked it up. He didn't know where it came from. He just picked it up, and they snatched the ball from him and they pushed him, and he actually fell down on his butt. And we don't know who the kids are. Otherwise, believe me, I'm going in having a nice conversation with the mom and dad. But and then they said to him, and he still remembers this. This was in the first week or the second week of school. They said to him, yeah, your butt smells like flowers. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, my poor son, if only he had the mouth that I have on me. I'd be like, first off, what does your butt smell like? Two, why are you getting so close to me that you could smell my butt? No, no. Do you have a fetish? Like, do you enjoy going up and smelling people's butts, or at least their seats? Like, do you go up to people's chairs and smell after they get up? Is that what you do, or do you go to the source directly? I don't understand what this fetish is that you've got right now. What is it exactly? And what's your favorite smelling butt? Just out of curiosity, I would freaking ream this guy up one wall, across the ceiling, down the other, and then kick him in the teeth for good measure. But that's just me. And my son never grew up with it. Or so far, he just does not have that killer instinct. You know what I'm saying? Like, I developed it because of getting bullied so much in Jersey. And Canada's a much nicer place. It genuinely is. He doesn't have that killer instinct. I remember, like, I took him to wrestling classes, and this kid did something outside of the rules to flip him and, to flip him on his back and to pin him for that second. You know what I'm saying? The actual amateur wrestling. And my son just could not get it. He couldn't, he was actually getting frustrated because the other kid wasn't playing by the rules. I'm like, dude, I don't care what you got to do. Get him on his back. Don't pay, if he's not playing by the rules, you don't play by the rules. Why would you follow the rules? No, put him on his back, pin him, trip him, grab him by his foot, push him down with your shoulder, get him down. He wouldn't do it. He just couldn't do it. He didn't want to hurt the other kid. And like, I understand if you're just wrestling with your friends, but here's this kid who's actually like trying to hurt him. Oh man, yeah, my son does not have that killer instinct. I don't want to, take it from him. It would be like, that's just like wrong, but wow, like he's just not gonna he's not gonna get that. Whoa, whoa, whoa. You couldn't get into the princess, or you couldn't get into the never ending story? Okay. For my you know what? I'm gonna have to do a review of the never ending story, but of course it's gonna have to be for the patrons because I only do that for patrons. But I'm gonna have to do that. After I just did Wonder Woman. So Wonder Woman is up this month. Next month, I'm planning on doing Aquaman. Yeah, Aquaman or Shazam? Which one comes next? Shazam. Okay, so I'm doing Shazam. That's fine. I watch that almost every day with my kids. They love that movie. Whenever somebody's like, I don't like Shazam, let me tell you how much your opinion means to me because my kids love that freaky movie. So there's that. And they don't even get scared at the scary parts. Like I would figure, I remember I went to watch that movie alone in the theater and I was like, oh no, these seven deadly sins are going to be terrifying. My kids were like, Shazam's going to kick their butts. I'm like, wow, yeah, I guess this isn't like the horror movies I watched when I was a kid where it's like Jason's going to win. You know what I'm saying? Like he's going to be the one standing at the end. I mean, nah, man, they're just like, no, 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 Shazam's going to beat them all. Okay. You awesome. But yes, I gotta do Shazam and then I gotta do Wonder Woman. Excuse me, then I gotta do Aquaman. After that, I think I'm gonna be doing Neverending Story because that was an amazing one. And I'm going to try and give everybody who's a patron a thing, like a free thing this coming month. So the 1st of February. I'm going to try and give everybody the regular video that I typically do reviewing a movie. In this case, it's going to be Shazam. I'm also going to give an exclusive comic book review. I'm not sure which one, but I'm going to do that. In fact, I think there'll be 4 exclusive comic book reviews for you guys because there'll be 4 weeks in that month. So you'll get one each week. On top of that, I'm going to try and give you guys a stop motion. I'm going to try and make like at least a 3-minute, 2 to 3, let's say 2 to 3 minute stop motion because those things take forever. I'm going to try and give like a 2 to 3 minute stop motion animation story so that you guys can actually watch me playing with my toys, without my fingers in it. And what was the other thing? I can't remember what the other thing was because you guys voted on that poll. So I figure anyway, I'm going to try and give one of each of those and give them to all of the members. And then after that, I'm going to actually start paying attention to the different tiers and do that. So like this will be for the $1 patrons. This will be for the $2 patrons. This will be for the $5 patrons and, so on and so forth. And I don't know if maybe I'll make like a 4th tier. I'm not sure, but we'll see. We'll see. And I'll try and put all these together and actually have some fun with it. Yeah, so I'll do that. I think for the stop motion, I might be doing the Transformers. I'm not sure because I just got my Jetfire toy and I'm super Skyfire, whatever you want to call them. I'm really excited for that. So I want to play with my Jetfire toy really, really bad. Or I might do wrestlers. I might actually do wrestlers. I don't know yet. Anyway, so yeah, we're gonna see about that. Weird insult. What's it? Yes, that is a weird insult. But he was genuinely Alan Russett's saying that. Yes, it really is a weird insult. Like, why would you make that kind of insult? But to a 4th or 5th grader, whatever he was, why do we do anything as kids, right? So Yeah, and the idea is that it actually did bother my son, though. Like to this day, he was just talking about it 2 days ago. That's why I was like, you know what? I'm getting the never-ending story. He's gonna love this, and he did. He genuinely did. Seeing those bullies get punked at the end, oh man, that was great. Okay, Chris Pineda, Batman Run, because I keep hearing that it was rushed. I don't feel like it was rushed at all. He kept on delaying it. He was like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to be on this book until this. I'm going to be on the book until that. I'm going to be on the book until that." Pretty soon he's like, "I'm going to be on the book until issue number 100." Then he's like, "I'm going to be on the book after issue number 100. It's happening, guys. It's already approved." And I guess there was just so much scream back at that DC was like, "Yeah, bud, you're off the book after issue number 86 or 85, whatever it is. So you're done. Like, we're done. This conversation's over. You're off the book." So the idea that he had to rush his ending, considering the fact that he was dragging, I don't want to curse because I know there's some kids who watch this. He was dragging butt. He was dragging some tail on this book for such a long time that it's like, bruh, I really don't want to hear it. No, I don't feel like that ending was rushed at all. If it was rushed because he's been screwing around for so long, that's on him. But he did not need to make this series go on as long as it did. That story could have been told in 60 issues easily. Accidentally, he could have done that. He was purposely stretching out those issues to get that. It wasn't even like a slow burn. No, it was like some issues don't have anything to do with anything else. It's like, why are you even doing this? And the stuff that we actually want to see, like I wanted to see him beating up everybody in Arkham twice, but instead we don't even get the chance to see that. You know what I'm saying? We just like all this tuck, 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 tuck. Oh, Batman has to fight everybody in Arkham. Okay, next scene. Yeah, it's done. He's got blood all over his knuckles. Like, yeah. It's like, are you freaking kidding me right now? Like, you're literally not giving us, and you really don't want us Batman fans to have any kind of fun with this comic book at all. You genuinely don't want us to like this comic book. You're going out of your way to make us not like this comic book. You're done, bruh. You're done. I don't even know why they gave him I think as a consolation prize they gave him the 12 issue maxi series of Batman and Catwoman. And I'm probably going to check out issue number 1 for the sake of morbid curiosity, but I don't see how he's going to rein me in on that. I really don't. I just don't. So I can't do that anymore, man. Oh man. Sue-Ann loves it. Oh, yes, I know. I was singing it too. I was singing Neverending Story also. Like, it's such a freaking great song. You know, let's see if I can kick all the people in this chat out. The Never-Ending Story. Here we go. Ah, dude, that is a freaking amazing song. And for my next number, I'm going to perform Aha, Take on Me. No, I won't. Whoa, we actually gained people in the chat. There are people who are gluttons for punishment. Okay, somebody else said something. Let me check that out. Okay, Victor. Thankfully, never had to deal with bullies. Lucky freaking you. But I actually understand where your son is coming from in that sense. I am much more likely to just keep on doing what I'm doing than to fight back. Yeah. See, that's really hard for me. Fetal ape with the Falcor comment. Yes, brother, you get it. You get it. But see, that's the thing. I didn't grow up with that. I grew up with like in a very non-Christian-esque background, I guess, even though I went to Sunday school. My Sunday school was right across from my the church was right across from the school. So, but yeah, if we ever turned the other cheek, we would get hit on the other cheek. If we turned around to leave, you'd wake up later after being slammed in the back of the head. I know this for a fact. It's actually happened. Teachers saying, just walk away, go find a teacher. Yeah, and then you literally get tripped up and hit on the head. You get beaten, you get pounded. Yeah. Like I don't want anybody to think that I'm like, frightening dangerous or anything like that. But yeah, when I get into an actual physical fight, dude, I'm kind of relentless. Like, a lot of people are like, dude, you go overboard with it. Overboard? This is how I grew up. And if you don't want someone to go overboard with you, learn who you're picking a fight with. I can't say anything else about it. It's not about, well, I couldn't recognize a bear from a badger. Well, why are you picking a fight with somebody in the first place? The way I look at it is, if you pick a physical fight with someone, like, actually, and think about what I'm saying, pick a fight with someone. If someone pulls out a gun and points it at your head, who do you have to blame? Yeah, sure, that person could go to jail, that person could get executed, all sorts of bad things can happen to that person, but that doesn't concern you anymore. What concerns you is what that person's going to do now that the gun is pointed at your head. You know what I'm saying? Um, Dude, if I'm walking and I see somebody, I was just outside with the kids and somebody came outside and they were standing right next to us and they lit up a cigarette. I'm like, you jackass, what's the matter with you? I don't want your cancer. Go poison yourself. Go poison your mother. And I go walking away from him. I hate cigarettes. I despise cigarettes. You know what I'm saying? And if you're rude like that, and I walked away and he didn't say anything. And he was generally smart. Because, like, if that person would have come up to me and like shoved me or done something stupid like that, dude, not in a good place. He's probably going to eat an elbow. I'm not joking about that. You put your hands on me. I promise you, I swear by everything I've ever held holy, including my cat who's technically holding me right now, I will definitely strike you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the way I was raised. It's the way I grew up. It's the way that I know. It's the way that my brain operates. You know what I'm saying? Don't you ever put your freaking hands on me, because that is called assault. And what you get in response is what you get in response. You don't get to complain about that afterwards. You know what I'm saying? Oof. But yeah, my kid just doesn't have that. And I want to say that's a great thing. But honestly, it is so hard for me to look at that as being a great thing. I try to comprehend, how is that good that he doesn't want to, like, some kid shoved him. Why didn't you get up and just uppercut that kid, punch him right in his throat, ox drummed, boom, right in the throat? Why don't you do that? He's going to pick on you again tomorrow. And then I realized that the guy didn't pick on him tomorrow. Nobody picked on him after that. Why? I don't know. I can't make heads or tails of it. So honestly, I can only look at it as, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I just don't know enough yet. You know what I'm saying? So maybe that works. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe he got lucky. I don't know. Alan, back in grade 2, I was teased for how I walked. The insult? Being called John Travolta. That's messed up. That's messed up. You talk about Saturday Night Fever, right? You can tell by the way that I use my walk. I'm a ladies' man. No time to talk. That's right. And suddenly everybody's gone. Yeah, that's fussed. That is genuinely fussed, man. Tom King's Batman run is what I meant. Yeah, that's what we were just talking about. I don't know how I got that wrong, or what I got wrong about it. Mark, Tom King's run plummeted downhill after the war of jokes and riddles. Kite Man was the best part. Kite Man was absolutely the best part. I'd be okay with him doing a Kite Man run. Honestly, I'd rather read his Kite Man run than anything else, but yeah, no, I think his stuff went down after the not wedding. That's where everybody that I know, and myself included, always quote it. I could take whatever he did, but that whole, like, oh, we're gonna have a wedding. No, it's no wedding. And then the way that he ended it anyway, it's like, I don't know. I genuinely just don't get that. I don't. Factual, Tom King was not the writer Bruce Wayne needed. We throw that up there. That is freaking hysterical. Nice one, John. So I get John, who's been with me like freaking forever, man. What's going on, brother? So I guess the question is, were you happy with the end of City of Bane arc? I didn't really look at the whole City of Bane arc. I only looked at the last issue. After a while, I even just stopped reading them. I did. And the only reason why I even looked at the last issue was because of the preview for James Tinian's thing. And so I looked through the book. I tried to read what I could. I couldn't. I really couldn't. Excuse me. He started doing, and I explained this in the review. I was like, the whole cat, bat, like how they would talk to each other. I think I really liked that in the beginning, and it's not that it was overused. It's the idea that for me that kind of became the symbology of everything wrong with the book. Like here's just Catwoman who can beat up. The idea that Catwoman could beat up a single Flash is ridiculous to me, but three of them at the exact same moment, like come on, man. Come on. Um yeah, just everything that's on here. So many weird things here, like his dad is back and he's gonna put his mom in the Lazarus pit, and freaking this guy's after him and that guy's after him, and it's like, and everything with the whole Bane, I'm gonna break your goddamn back. Like he just kept on saying stuff like that. And to me, it's like, dude, you need to just stop and just get to the damn point. At some point, get to the point. Is there a point? There was never a point. And at the end of the day, what happened in the end? Like Batman didn't even need to be there. The only person who needed to be there was Catwoman. And she just had to come by and kick Bane in the spine and break his back again, like she already done at least twice before. Why is like Bane is supposed to be one of the smartest adversaries Batman has? He figured out who Bruce Wayne was. He figured all that stuff out. He broke the bat, and it wasn't, mind you guys, when you think about like Chuck Dixon, what he did back then, it wasn't about he broke Batman's back. No, that's not the breaking of the bat. That's not really, like, that was just the metaphor. Like that was just the actual, breaking the Batman's back. No, he broke Batman because of a month of this guy chasing at like one rocket launcher. He opened up all of Arkham City and everybody came out. He went and he injected, the Riddler with the venom just to make him a little bit more dangerous and all that. Like just little things that he would do to make Batman not be able to get a minute's sleep. Batman was broken by the time that he faced Bane. He was already broken. That was genius. It was genius. One of the best Batman storytelling runs ever. And then to see this now where Bane is so stupid that here's Catwoman who broke his back down in the what was that one called? The Vengeance of Bane. What was that storyline called? It was one of the earlier ones. It was before the City of Bane. Anyway, when all of a sudden she broke his back with a single kick, and then he brought her back into the fold. When there was the other thing with Bane where he was showing up and it looked like he was killing all of the Robins. And then she showed up and she's the one who saved the day by breaking his back again. And I don't know how many other times it happened, but there's those two times. It's like he trusted her. He didn't like her, but he trusted her. At the same time, Chuck Dixon was putting out the Bane storyline, which clearly did not cross over with each other because he faces her and nothing's said about it in both regards, both stories. So what the heck? And then later on, at the end of the thing, she's by his side working for him. And he was stupid enough to trust her? I'm sorry. I just don't see this. I just don't see this. Like, how stupid is Bane to do something like that? No, I just don't even want to get into it, man. I've already got into it way more than I feel the need to. It just didn't work. Como, what's going on? I actually like the writing when it came to his dialogue between Selina and Bruce. I don't know. I couldn't tell between all the poetry that I kept on hearing, that I kept on reading. There was poetry being, it's like, dude, a whole book where you're singing a song or reciting poetry. Bruh, my wife collects poetry. She's an English lit major, where she was. Now she's just a graduated English lit major. I've got books of poems by people I didn't even know were poets. You know what I'm saying? I got those poems. I'm good. We got them on our shelves, bruh. We good. The woman that plays Supergirl on the CW sang the Never Ending Story song for for the Anna Faris podcast. Okay, that's cool. That's super cool. Oh, the woman who plays Supergirl on CW, that's Benoit. Benoit's her name. Benoit? Benoit. I think it's Benoit. Something Benoit. I can't remember her name. Anyway, yeah, she was also in that one movie or TV series on Netflix. Wow, memory's not working right now. Paul Feig wants to do a crossover with the Ghostbusters Afterlife cast. And there are lots of reasons why that can't happen, not even counting the 2016 film's lack of quality. Forget about the lack of quality. I honestly, I don't care. At the end of the day, Paul Feig? Nah, Paul Feig's done. Paul Feig's done. I don't care about Paul Feig. Paul Feig needs to walk away. Paul Feig is literally this, look, I'm going to say this, okay? Paul Feig is that jackass who heard criticism coming in, couldn't differentiate misogyny, and there was a lot of misogynistic nonsense coming in. I'm sorry, Donald Trump tweeted about there's going to be all woman Ghostbuster thing. That can't possibly work. Nobody cares about that, but people want to get on the idea that maybe, possibly Bernie Sanders might have said that a woman, it's going to be harder for a woman to become president. Like, let's be realistic here, okay? Come on. He would say, but nobody wants to attack that. So, like, when push comes to shove, Paul Feig couldn't separate the difference between the toxic side and then other people just saying, whoa, hold on, you're just calling it Ghostbusters. Can you actually call it Ghostbusters something else? Like, and they wound up doing it, Ghostbusters Answer the Call, which if they would have made the main movie that, it's like, okay, so this is a different, everything. It's not in the same continuity. You're not acting like the original Ghostbusters don't exist. It's a minor thing. It is such a minor thing. But Paul Feig is completely out of touch with his audience. You know what I'm saying? I saw like the pictures he did of him sitting on a couch with his foot up, and it's like, I'm sorry, is that humorous? Is that funny? Is that something I should laugh at? Is that something I should say, oh, Paul, he's always doing things like that? I don't see what that was supposed to accomplish. I don't understand what this was about. I don't understand his humor. I don't understand it. I genuinely don't get it. Like I said, I saw that movie Spy with Melissa McCartney. I thought it was really good. My wife hated it. She hated it. She's like, yeah, this guy, Paul Feig, all he ever does is these kinds of movies, and they're all silly. They're all silly. They make the men look like idiots. They make women look like they're, a bunch of bumbling idiots who wind up at least succeeding in the end. It's like, it just doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense. I just don't like movies like that. I'm like, wow, you didn't give it a chance. Okay, whatever. But then I see this stuff coming up, and then I see the way that they're attacking fans before the movie even came out. Bruh, if you put out a press release, and they put out press releases, you put out your press releases, you put out your feelers and whatnot, what they expected was people were going to go, yay, anything that you do, we will watch. Unfortunately, that's not what happened. Instead, you got communication back. Some of it was toxic jackasses, but others were good, solid, reasonable people who ticked off bullet points of things that they would like to see in the movie in order for it to be accepted. Hey, you want to call this Ghostbusters? You could even call it Ghostbusters 3, whatever you want to. Just don't call it only Ghostbusters. Call it Ghostbusters something. Ghostbusters 3, Ghostbusters Answer the Call, whatever you want to call it something, in addition to Ghostbusters, because otherwise it feels like just replacing them. Oh, we're going to have the cast in there. Oh, that's awesome. Are they going to pass the torch? Because if they're not going to pass the torch, it's not credible. It's not credible. We don't want to see a reboot unless you're actually going to call it a reboot. But don't freaking just act like the other stuff never happened. You know what I'm saying? So you have all these people in there showing up and making comments from the previous stuff. No. Why don't you actually have it that, even if they only had Stan Wilson, was his Winston? No, crap. I can't remember what his name is. But anyway, the guy who played Winston in the Ghostbusters, even if it's just him giving the car, the Ecto, mobile to his niece, and it's actually him, that would be perfect. It's like, hey, listen, the other guys are kind of busy doing their own thing, but they see what you're doing and they approve. Here. It's an older model, but I think it'll serve you well. Something just as simple as that would have been nice. This way the old fans are on board. Just something as simple as that. But no, they couldn't even do that. Okay, well, screw you then. I don't want to watch the movie. I tried to watch the movie with my wife. I don't know which one of us lost interest first, but I know that she said it first. She's like, are you watching this? Because I'm not watching this. I was like, oh, God, thank God. Can we just watch Boy Meets World, please? Like it was so, and yeah, we started watching Boy Meets World instead because, like, oh my god, it was so mind numbing. I think we got halfway through. I think, but it happens a lot, man. That happens a lot. Let's see. Happy Dinosaur 8000. First off, awesome name. And may I say, so yeah, how are you? I'm gonna actually go down a lot more. So yeah, happy day to all. I'm gonna start reading things from underneath there. Hey, Bagel, my leg actually hurts now. I'm gonna have to let you down. I'm sorry. I know you're nice and comfortable and you're purring, but I'm gonna have to let you down now because my leg actually hurts you being up here this whole time, okay? I'm gonna put you down. I know. Complain all you want, but I got to put you down. Anyway, so happy day to you as well, Happy Dinosaur. If you guys check my Instagram just a little while ago when I was out playing with the kids in the snow, I made dinosaur footprints with my giant feet. So y'all can go check that out. Kite Man is great in Harley Quinn the animated series. Oh no, that's awesome. Victor, are we adding Flash to the list of characters that they got beat up to show off another character's powers? In Catwoman's case, we are, Victor. Yes, we actually are. Who wins in a fight, Tom King's version of Catwoman or One Punch Man? Oh, it would 100% be Catwoman, because let's be realistic. It would One Punch Man would be duped into thinking it was Batman versus One Punch Man, and he'd go up and he'd try and give the attitude, and then also you'd hear Cat, and then Bat, and all of a sudden One Punch Man would be kicked in the spine and his back would be broken. And all you got to do is prove me wrong. Just tell me how it actually happened, because I don't think you can. So yeah, it would be Catwoman, especially if Tom King is writing it. Wow, that was actually a good one. I actually expected that to come from like Mark. You know what I'm saying? But wow, I'm impressed. Okay, so oh, there was a ROM comment from Paula. Let me go up and try and find Paula. Paula, I just saw #1 for ROM the Space Knight. When did Marvel sell the rights to IDW, or did Marvel own the rights to begin with? Yeah, they never actually owned the rights to that. They never actually owned the rights to the ROM product. Yeah, I think it was just explained properly. It was I think it's Mattel, or was it Hasbro? I think it was Hasbro. Anyways, they owned the rights. It was just this stupid clunky toy, you know? And Marvel took it and they're like, "Yeah, you want us to write this stuff? Sure." Just like they had the license to do Conan for a while and now again, Star Wars for a while and now again, things like that. Micronauts and Mask. I think it was them who did Mask. Anyway, all these different things that they did. And it's just a matter of, yeah, let's try to make a cool story. And Marvel 100% put ROM on the map. Mattel or Hasbro, whoever it was, they made a horrible, ugly, really pointless toy. I'm just gonna say a stupid toy. It was a stupid toy. All right, nobody wanted that stupid toy, but Marvel made it a very interesting character. Gave the Dire Wraiths background story like never imagined. Integrated into the universe. Yeah. Mark McKeever, please tell me that you watched CW's Crisis crossover. Well, only if you're a really big Stevie Nicks fan. Why do I say that? Tell me sweet little lies. Tell me lies, tell me lies. Oh, no, no, you can't disguise. Anyway, no, I didn't watch it. I haven't watched any of that stuff. I don't watch the CW stuff anymore. I don't watch TV like all that anymore. I watch streaming stuff like Netflix once in a while. I'll watch that. Tried to do The Witcher, couldn't. Still hoping that Suan does a what do you call it, a review of The Witcher, because that would be kind of freaking cool. And I watch Disney streaming, but I really only watch The Mandalorian, which is over now, is only 8 episodes, and I'm watching Boy Meets World every once in a while. And like I said, I still haven't watched my Blu-ray of the Joker, so no, I haven't watched it. I did see a couple of parts, like I saw the Ezra Miller part. Yeah, I don't like Ezra Miller. I've never liked him ever since he refused to sign that I think it was a Spider-Man comic book for Marvel. There was this one kid, a teenager, whatever, he's the same age as this guy, I think. He wanted Ezra. He saw Ezra Miller. He's like, "Will you sign this?" He's like, "Bro, that's a Marvel comic. I can't sign that. Like, I'm in the rival property. Why does it have to be a rival? Why exactly does it have to be a rival? Why are you making this into a thing?" realistically, this guy thought that eventually one day you would probably wind up being Spider-Man at some point. That's actually the story. He said that, and Ezra Miller is just like, dude, if you can't understand why I can't sign that, I can't help you. Oh, cute little kitty boy with the big stupid looks that he does all the time. So now you're insulting a fan. Here's a fan who came up to you and just wanted your autograph, but and it's not like it was on Smut. It was on a Spider-Man comic book. He wanted you to sign his Spider-Man comic book, and you were that much of a dick that you chose not to, and you insulted him, basically calling him stupid, in your little snake-like ways. Boy, you're so cute, Esra. Nah, Esra Miller deserves to be smacked in the mouth for that. And honestly, like at the end of the day, I really can't stand those stupid looks that he puts on his face. Maybe it'd be different if I didn't have that story to go back on, of him insulting that one kid who just wanted his autograph. But I mean, he always does it so like, dude, no, wrong, 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 wrong. And they're still talking about making the Flash movie. They're still talking about calling it Flashpoint. I honestly don't see why you're still even considering it at this point. I really just don't. I don't. Why are you latching on to this kid? Why exactly? Why? Anyway, yeah, I got my own opinions on this. Yes. Mitch Joel. Yes, it was my idea to do the sweeps. Yes, I do the sweeps every week. Yeah, that's all me. Because, but I don't know. I don't think it was like that big of a deal, but yeah. Blair. Let's see. You like the sweeps? I try not to do it too fast. Yeah, I know IDW started doing the mask also. They get licensed to do stuff. They get a little bit of money. Like, oh yeah, sure, we'll do a couple of these different things. Wasn't Mask a DC version back in the day? Yes, there was a DC version of the Mask, but I think that Marvel might have done it also. I don't know. I know they like Marvel has had so many properties. You remember when they did the Visionaries? I loved that book. It was 6 issues. I loved those. It took me forever to get issue 6, but I finally got issue 6 and I was like, yay! And then I lost it when I went to Saudi Arabia. But yeah, whatever. Hey, what's up, Isaiah? How you doing? Breck Warren is here. What's up? Sue-Ann likes the sweep. Yeah, plus I do the little royalty-free music I put in there once in a while. Well, Mark Guerrero's. Oh, first of all, let's look at the Mark McKeever. John Cryer as Lex Luthor has been a joy to see. He's nailing it. Awesome. Mark Guerrero. Well, Wonder Woman and Aquaman showed Zack Snyder hired people right for the roles. Much better director. Ezra could do good. I don't know how to make sense out of that comment. Maybe somebody can explain it to me, or maybe you could better explain it. The way I look at it is that, again, dude, my opinion on those people getting hired is vastly different from yours. Look, Cal Drogo, Aquaman, Jason Momoa. Jason Momoa did a pretty good job in the Aquaman movie, but in the Justice League, he didn't, in my opinion. He was Aqua Bro. He was Awkward Bro. He wasn't Aquaman. He was Awkward Bro. And even when they did the trailers for it, look at how much they changed from the trailers. They kept the one part I'm going to mention, but they changed so much stuff. You could have just peed on it. Really? Anyway, yeah, not the Aquaman that I expected to see. They made him Aqua Bro. Cool, whatever, man. At least they showed, like, I guess that's a range for Jason Momoa. I don't see Jason Momoa as this amazing actor. He was for a little while as Count Drogo, who was literally just a guy who didn't speak English. He just made noises and talked in some other language once in a while. And he banged Khaleesi. You know what I'm saying? Always hot scenes to see. She's hot. She's hot. My wife has the figure out here somewhere. I don't know where. But anyway. And then what do you call it? And then he was in Conan the Barbarian, the most recent one, and that one sucked. Nobody liked that movie. I don't know. I don't see him as being this amazing actor. I just don't. I don't. He did a good job in that one though. But he also had an amazing director. He had a great team to work with. It is what it is. And again, I've talked about Gail Gadot so many times. I don't see how that could be considered good hiring. I think that was terrible hiring, and Patty Jenkins agrees with me. So hey, What do we got here? Hey, Saud Althani, what's going on, brother? If you download the CW app, you can watch Crisis. Oh, cool. Yeah, maybe I will. I'm trying to do too much stuff for you. Like I don't know what I'm gonna get by actually watching the CW thing. Like I don't enjoy the CW. I really just don't. I don't enjoy the CW verse. If you do, that's awesome, but I don't. I don't know why I'd be watching it. If I did a review, it'd be off of only those. I haven't watched the Flash or anything else in forever. I watched the first season of the Flash, the first two, see almost the first, almost the entire third season of the Green Arrow. I watched the first two episodes of whatever that society thing was, the Legend of Superheroes, whatever that was. I didn't like the version of Hawkman on there. I don't know what to tell you. I don't enjoy it. I don't get off on watching those, and I can provide so much more content to you guys by actually doing the things that I enjoy instead of just talking about, oh yeah, there's a big thing going on, and yeah, sorry, I don't care. Oh, the 5G, Mark McKeever. That's not rumored, bro. Let's throw that up on there. Yeah, that's not Captain Kick-Ass. Nothing to do with comics. Can't even put that into comics. We don't need that in here. And I do have moderators who will ban you from the channel, so no, not necessary. And I leave that to them. I leave that to them. Wow, that's like I could freaking rip you to shreds over that. I don't see. I'm gonna just assume that you were just trying to make a silly joke and not try and be a racist about it. What's your opinion on the DC's rumored 5G? Not actually rumored. They were talking about this is definitely going to happen. This was actually announced at New York Comic Con. You can go and check it out on online. So it's been out for months that they are doing this. They're basically, essentially, in some ways, making Wonder Woman the oldest character in the DC universe. I don't have a problem with that. I don't care. I wonder why they would do that because she wasn't. I mean, there's the Justice League or Justice Society of America. You know what I'm saying? And that was pre-World War II and all that stuff. And like, are they going to switch around the thing so that Wonder Woman is now World War One? Because I know they made in the movie World War II is originally where Wonder Woman first showed up. But in the movie, Patty Jenkins said, let's make it World War One. And my speculation is that they wanted to separate it from the Captain America movie as much as they possibly can, because otherwise you just have two movies where the main character really is a guy named Steve who sacrifices himself in a plane at the end of the movie. I mean, you know, and he actually had a shield at one point and screamed out, "Shield!" Just saying, just saying. So, there's that. So maybe that's why, I don't know. But they really are apparently doing that. And they could drop it because they were supposed to be doing Ink and Zoom and all this other stuff, and they just whatever. I don't know. I don't know. My opinion on it is it's just some little thing where they feel like trying to have some fun with stuff. I don't know. I'm Mitch Joel. I'm new in terms of coming back to collecting. I prefer the non-variant covers. I can't argue with you. The variants are more collectible because they're more limited in its print run. It's confusing me. Can you explain? Yes. Let's see if I can explain. Variant covers are basically there to try and make extra money. There is no other real reason for it. They hire other artists to come in. Here's my opinion of comic books. Whoever does the interior art should also do the cover. That's my honest opinion, because I do want to be able to judge a book by its cover, at least some of the book by its cover. That's what I want to judge. So I don't want false starts. I don't want fake covers where it's like, oh, here's a picture of Batman being, stabbed by Bane or something like that. And then I look in the comic book and Batman wasn't stabbed and Bane isn't even in the comic book. Stuff like that kind of infuriates me. And if a main cover shows that, I'm not interested in seeing the comic book. You just brought me down on the whole comic book at this point. But one of the other things that I'm interested in seeing is that the interior art is the same as the cover art, so I can actually judge what am I getting, what am I about to get. So variant covers are a great chance to get a different cover. Maybe you want to do something else with it, whatever, and it could help, especially with issue ones or some seminal issues, some important issue like that, a key issue, right? Oh, we good. And sometimes you've got these amazing artists like Stanley Art Germ Lau, who is the absolute best comic book artist in my opinion right now, even though he only does covers. So I'll call him the best cover artist right now. The best artist right now, in my opinion, is Stefan Sajic. Like, holy crap, where do they breed people like this? Because we need more, you know? But variant covers, especially when you're doing like 6 and more variant covers, is a little bit ridiculous. It's just a little bit ridiculous, and it's a bit too much. It really is. They're more collectible because you got some special artist on it. And it's like, hey, but I definitely, while sometimes I will get that variant cover if it's hot, sometimes I'll buy it in addition to a regular comic book cover because I want to keep that one, but I want to give the comic book itself to, like a hospital or something, because I do that. People always ask me, hey, professor, about your comic books, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've only got 8 comic book boxes. I'll probably need a 9th one soon, but for the most part, I give away most of my comic books. I give away most of my comic books. I actually give them away. I don't do it online. I don't sell them. I give them away. I've never sold a comic book in my life, saying one of my own comic books. I've never done that before. I actually give away most of my comic books to hospitals because that's where a lot of people first, back when I was younger, first came in touch with comic books. Hey, look at that, So it's my comic book. I can do what I want with it. So I donate them. Try and get some more people into comic books, get some more kids into comic books, an adult maybe, who knows, who cares? Just the idea of it's available, it's there. Hey, check it out. What do you call it? So as far as this, my opinion on comic books, the variant covers and whatnot is I want the main cover usually because it will actually tell me what happens inside the book. Because a year from now, 10 years from now, I look at one of the comic books that I keep, I want to be able to look at the cover and say, this is the issue where such and such happened. You know what I'm saying? That issue of the Avengers where Hawkeye is drawing his bow and you see Ant-Man on the front holding on to that arrow tip, you remember that's the issue where Taskmaster showed up and they were in the circus and he actually did that maneuver, and then that's how they were able to, help take down Taskmaster, and like that was a big deal and it was freaking awesome. I want to be able to look at a cover and say, I know what happened in that comic book. That's the comic book I was looking for to reference. That's what I want. So that's why. Okay, here's a very interesting one. What are my thoughts on CGC grading for comic books? Chris Pineda. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. And what is that a picture of? Is that a picture of bone meal in Minecraft? Because that's what it looks like to me. I don't know what that is. Anyway, okay, so the way that I look at it is this. See you later, Paula. Much love. So the way that I look at CGC grading and whatnot, listen, there are these channels that are oftentimes bigger than mine, and they only focus on the grading and the CGC and the mints and the key issues and this is going to be important because of this, this, and this. Those are fun, excuse me, but for the most part, I don't usually get into that stuff because, look, you ever buy something online or you ever try to buy something online, like maybe a toy? It's like, oh, my kid is really into such and such toy, such and such character. So you go to buy the toy online and you look on Craigslist or Kijiji. It's Craigslist in Canada. You look on whatever you're going to look at and it's like, oh, look, somebody's got this toy, but they're selling it for $50. Hi, I really want to buy this toy, but I don't understand why it's $50. It's just for a kid. And the person gets offended. Yeah, well, I'm not selling for kids. I'm selling for collectors. Blah, 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 blah. Well, this guy clearly isn't a collector, or at least possibly isn't a collector, and just is trying to bargain. It's just a negotiation, and that's a part of selling in these places. You could put no low bids, but then again, what does a low bid mean? You could put, no negotiations, whatever. You could put whatever you want, and you could just choose to ignore these people, block these people if you want. But people are going to try and negotiate because people want to pay what they think it's worth. And if you walk into a retail store and your comic book store, and there are comic book stores that do this. If you walk into your comic book store and you see, I'm going to take an example, Batman Damned issue number 1 from Black Label, the original one where they actually showed the Batawang. Okay. I have that issue. I believe it's worth a lot of money. Don't care because I don't sell my comic books. But there's a legacy behind it, and I'm interested in keeping that. I've also got that first issue of X-Men Gold, where the artist there writes some anti well, it's basically like he's was it Indonesia, I think it is, and he writes some anti-establishment government stuff on there, which happened to be anti-Christian in this particular point. And it's like, there's a lot of people who actually ripped the comic book up right there. Thank you, because there wasn't a huge print run for that. So every time that somebody rips one of those comic books, my comic book goes up in value. Awesome. I don't plan on selling my comic book. But yeah, I might decide to get that comic book one of these days. So, there's that. I don't, things like that just don't really, I don't know, blow me away. They really just don't blow me away in general. I look at this and I'm like, it is what it is. Who cares? Um, oh man, first appearance of Beta Ray Bill. Cool, cool. So who are you going to sell that to? You've clearly got to sell it to another collector. But as there are less and less collectors available, right? I don't see how that's this great thing. I don't see how that's this amazing thing. As far as CGC in and of itself, they look like they can't be broken into and things like that, right? I'm going to disagree, especially if you're on the inside. But we have learned so many different ways of counterfeiting dollar bills. We can't counterfeit a CGC grading. We can't go and take the latest issue of Thor or whatever and then just turn around and then, oh, I'm going to take this old one and be like, oh, this is actually a 10.0 or 9.8 is what you usually get, of whatever. It's like, I don't know, man. I honestly don't know. I literally look at this as if CGC puts my comic book in a container that I can't open, slab it, what's the point of the comic book? I remember when I first saw that, it was 3 years ago at Fan Expo Canada. I was like, why are those things like that? Is that a real comic book inside? Yeah, it's slabbed. Okay, you're talking to me. Listen, talk slow like I don't know anything about what this stuff is. It's like, this is a big thing that everybody's doing right now. Sorry, bud. Go and ask anybody about it. If only you knew. And most people don't slab their comic books. And if you do, cool, man, that's awesome. And there's plenty of channels out there for you to do that. You know what I'm saying? I personally, I'm not into slabbing my comic books. I literally just don't. I take myself too seriously, bro. Who's this guy? I don't know. But you, my friend, you are not Comic Book University. I take myself too seriously. I call myself a jackass all the time, screwing around, but I take myself too seriously. Interesting. Sorry, let me find this guy over here, in case Sue-Ann didn't get rid of this guy. Sue-Ann, did you get rid of this guy? And I'm not talking about a timeout. You timed him out? No, Sue-Ann! This person does not get timed out. This person is demolished. This person is obliterated. This person gets booted forever. No! Are you capable of undoing that so that we can actually ban him from the channel forever? This is not Comic Book University. This is literally someone trying to steal my identity. Like, how rude is that? If you can change that, I would genuinely be appreciative of that, please. What is this? What are we on show stuff right there? I can't believe this guy. Get rid of this guy. Boot this guy forever. Oh, you tried? Whatever. Anyway, Comic Book University. I take myself too seriously. Okay, congratulations. You actually, for the first time, I've actually been stopped in the middle of something. You actually stole my name, made 2 lowercase letters on it, and then I take myself too seriously. Let me see how I take you. I see you as a thief. I see you as someone who literally walks up and takes someone else's name with some little thing on there, whatever. Like, you are scum. You are genuinely the scum of the earth. And that's cool, man, because at some point somebody's going to do something to you also. Somebody's going to, I don't know, steal your wallet or something like that, and you've got no ground to stand on. You are scum of the earth, you absolute jackass. Wow, you're a funny guy, and I don't see how I'm taking myself too seriously answering a question. Anyway, wow, absolute scum of the freaking earth, stealing my identity just to insult me. Congratulations, you are a coward. You are genuinely a coward. I'm a guy who served in the military, and you're a guy who comes up and it's not quite the same as stolen valor, but you literally taking someone else's identity. It's bad enough that you don't have your own picture on there because many people don't. You don't have your name on there. You've got my name on there. You are a coward. You could think that you trolled whatever. Success, congratulations, but you are so weak. Such weak sauce. Hey, bud, this is my face. Can I see your face? No, a coward wouldn't do that. A coward wouldn't do that. You are scum of the earth. Absolutely, horrifyingly, terribly weak. Pathetic. So, as far as slabbed comics books are concerned, yeah, as tired as I am right now, I don't see the point in them. If you do, like, it's cool. I don't see them as being cool at all. I want to be able to one day open them up again, saying things like that. As far as the grading and all that stuff, I just can't get into stuff like that. Plus you got to buy special boxes for them. They take up all this space. Oy, that's a lot. That's a lot. Um, Thank you, Mitch. Thank you very much. And Mark, appreciate. We got issues. Hey, we got issues. I was thinking about wearing my one shirt. I decided to wear my jacket, but I was thinking about wearing my one shirt. I just got a new shirt. It says, I'd like to cancel my subscription to your issues. It's supposed to be, making fun of somebody with mental illness, I guess. But I'm going to take it as saying like bad comic books. um, let's see. Chris Pina, what did he say? Is Marvel doing better than DC in regards of stories? Yes, I think that they are. Comic Universal either agrees or disagrees. I think that Marvel team books are better right now, but DC's better with solo series. I'm not reading everything from everybody, but with DC putting out a lot less books, it is easier to read all of DC's stuff. No, I think that Marvel really is putting out more better series, but at the same time, they are also putting out just more books, period. So they're also technically putting out more bad stories, right? It's literally just throwing everything up against the wall. Okay, Bagel, I'm going to open this door, but I'm not going out with you. Are you going to go? Are you going to go? Are you going to go? Okay, I'm not going, so I'm sorry. I'm not going. I'm not going. I'm staying in here, and I'm talking. I am sorry. So anyhow, momentum with Rebirth and Doomsday Clock really screwed it all up. Yeah, I hear. What other YouTube channels do you like? Okay, that's a fun one. The other YouTube channels that I like are there's this guy called Corporal's Corner. He does kind of like some survivalist stuff. I like Primitive Survival, I think it's called. Primitive Technology, it's called. This guy doesn't talk in his video. He used to in the beginning, but he doesn't anymore. And he just builds stuff from the beginning and just, saying all this primitive technology stuff where he's just like, he'll make an axe out of a stone and a stick. Saying? Like he does stuff like this. And it's like, wow, that's cool and all. But saying? Like then he'll actually like chop down trees with it. He'll build a house, like a hut. He'll make like the heating system. He shows how to start fires and stuff like that. And it's really fun to watch these things, and I really want to do that. Like I would love to be able to have a channel where I just do stuff like that. And I'm not as good as this guy, but I would still like to. Yeah, just all the channels like that. Ooh, the ones with snowy survival, because I don't know how to survive in the snow, so to speak. Like if I was in the middle of the snow, I would like a snowstorm and I had to do, perform survival techniques. I wouldn't be great in it. I might actually die. because yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'd have a hard time making the wood dry enough to be able to heat. I'd have a hard enough time trying to make the shelter, plus making it quick enough to not freeze. Like you're actually under a serious time constraint now. It's not just about how hungry and thirsty you are, especially how thirsty you are. It's about you're going to die really soon. You don't have a way to, make your water good and so on and so forth. And I think that what you meant are comic book channels, but I don't watch other people's comic book channels. I know that like sometimes some other comic book channels around my size will show up. None of the bigger channels show up, but some of the other comic book channels around my size show up, and they're like, "Oh, hey, Bill." I'm like, "Oh, I think I know your name," but they're also ambushing me. It feels like an ambush. You know what I'm saying? Um, like if somebody shows up and it's like, "Hey, what's up? Check it out," just saying hi. "Oh, hi, how you doing?" And I'm like, "I think I should know you because your name looks familiar." And then somebody's going to get offended because I don't know who this channel is. That's one of my favorite channels, but I don't watch other channels like that. I just don't, because I don't want to inadvertently steal something from them. You know what I'm saying? Um, I'm willing to collaborate with anybody. I'm willing to talk to anybody. I'll have you on my show. Have me on your show. Let's make our own thing. Let's do something. Absolutely. But like I don't go out of my way to really watch other people. Unless, you do say, "Hey, what's going on? Just, check me out." And, "Oh, well, I'll check you out. I'll absolutely check you out." Breck Warren, good night, bud. Yeah, I'm probably going to bounce too. I don't think my wife is going to. Oh, wow. An hour and 40 minutes. Have I really been going for that long? Um, Let me go back over here. Man, oh man, oh man. Okay, Saud, what's going on, brother? Can I get your thoughts on the upcoming X-Men titles that have been announced? Can you throw in the new X-Men titles that have been announced? Because I might not have seen all the ones that you're talking about. Also, my X-Men would be over here. All my Marvel stuff is over here. I only see Warlock. I've done Warlock before. Okay, bud. You know what I'm going to do for you? Oh, well, now I do see some of them, but they're hanging. So you know what? I'm going to do. I've got my Kingpin in the form of the Shadow King. Like, I'm on the astral plane. I'm gonna come on down. I'm gonna bash you. I'm gonna jack you up. Professor X, you owe me money. Yeah, we're gonna do that. Oh, wow. Whoa, Alan again. Thank you. I know this book is at Gotham, so I'm wondering how Auric has gone over. Auric. The name sounds familiar, dude. The name sounds familiar. Okay, Saud asks about Hellions. Hellions, Children of the Atom, and X Factor. So let's look at that one really quick. Hellions, yes. Looking for. Oh my God. Oh, Saud, you didn't. Oh no. Okay. Oh, sorry. I highlighted and it looked like you did another super chat, and you don't have to, dude. Okay, so Hellions is a book that I've been telling all of you guys that I would really have liked to seen. Like Fallen Angels is great. Like it's a great title. I love it. Excuse me, calling Kitty Pryde's team the Marauders and things like that. It didn't make a lot of sense since those were purely bad guys and like they were the most wretched of the villains of the X-Men. Like they were mutants who went around, mostly mutants, who ran around killing other mutants, namely the Morlocks. Like it was terrible. And these were genuinely evil freaking people, man. Wow, they were evil. So I don't know why they would ever take on that name. It just seemed interesting to me. And I thought, why wouldn't they just take on the Hellions instead? Because since Emma Frost is involved and, Hellions, so I think that it's a perfect name to take on, and I love the idea they're doing that. I don't even know what the book is going to be about, but I love the idea they're doing that, and I really do hope it has something to do with Emma Frost reestablishing the team. As far as X Factor, hey man, I am down with that, especially if they're going to use the original X Factor idea, not just, "Oh, we're X Factor." Why? I don't know. It's a name that hasn't been taken, currently. No. As long as like to me, the best X Factor books were the original series, the original team, the original 5 X-Men. You can have any X-Man that you want on that team, any mutant that you want on the team. They could be unknowns. As long as they're people who are going to act like they're regular humans who are going out and hunting down mutants that, reported, "Hey, I got a case of mutant activity over here." As long as they're doing something very similar to what the Marauders are doing right now, which, hey, wouldn't it have made really awesome sense if they were actually called X Factor instead? Call the boat the Marauder if you want, but call the book X Factor, because that's kind of what they're doing, you know? And as far as Children of the Atom, I don't think there ever has been a book called Children of the Atom. There's been a title, but not a like the dressing has never been Children of the Atom. It's never been, X-Men's Children of the Atom. That was always like something else. It was a face rip book, and it was a I can't remember what the story was for the storyline of Children of the Atom. But anyway, no, I think that's a great idea because it's definitely something that can be used. Okay. Orak of the Great White North. So anyway, thank you for the $10 super chat, Saud. And Alan, thank you for the $5 super chat. Okay, Great White North by Andrew Thomas. Is that my bud, Andrew Thomas, the guy who works for um, Chapter House Comics? Is that who we're talking about? Because if so, I feel really disappointed that this dude never told me that he's working on a comic book. Because wow, I would generally be offended. Anyway, he's the guy, the Andrew Thomas that I know is a letterer for Chapter House Comics, and he's a genuinely cool guy. If this is the same one, yes, this is him. Okay, yeah, I'm actually really mad at him right now, and we're friends on Facebook, so I'm actually going to yell at him as soon as I get off here. I'm not joking. I'm actually going to yell at him. How freaking dare he not tell me that he's working on a comic book? Wow, I am mad at him. Plus, he's a pretty good artist too. He did a cover for Captain Canuck. He actually did a female Captain Canuck. For a cover of one of the issues. Anyway, wow, I am so freaking mad at this guy. Oh, oof, there's about to be a fight, and this is your fault, Alan. Technically, actually, it's his fault. You just bring it to awareness. So what else do we got here? Let's throw up Sue-Ann real quick. I think Hickman is trying to reset the norms and make us think outside the box with X-Men mythologies. Possibly, but I don't think fans usually want to do stuff like that. Saud, sadly, it's nothing to do with Emma. The Hellions was Havoc, Empath. Oh, has Havoc, Empath, and Psylocke. Oh yeah, because I did hear that the Fallen Angels is going to be ending pretty soon. Okay. That could possibly work. That could work. Like they're really just trying to put out too many books right now because like you've only got 3 people on a team. Why? Why only 3 people on a team? You know what I'm saying? Like there's so many X-Men. Make it an actual team book. Make it something interesting. So you got 3 people on a team, just like the Fallen Angels book. Why don't you actually have a whole bunch of people on the team instead of they're all just dancing and having sex? You know what I'm saying? Like there's got to be more than that. I'm really bothered by that. In theory, Arc has been available at Gotham. Yeah, and it has a couple of Kickstarters. Okay, yeah, I'm genuinely upset at Andrew for not pointing that out to me, man. So anyway, Joker has too many X-Men books. I agree. Falling so behind. Yeah, like I can't keep on doing Dawn of X books anymore if they're just going to keep on adding titles. There's no way. There's no way. It's like I get these books and I've only got a couple minutes to do more. Joker has more nominations than any other movie in the Oscars. Starting to think it has a real shot of Best Picture. Of course it does, because it has Martin Scorsese's name behind it. And you got to know how these things actually work. Give me a minute, I'll get back to that. But I see Saud. And I heard Children of the Atom is a book about Sinister's chimeras. Oh, now we're talking. Now we're talking, especially since we were promised that we were going to get more on that. And Sinister is going to be the great betrayer. Now we're talking. And thank you for that $5 super chat, Saud. I actually wish I had my Mr. Sinister figure out here because that would be kind of cool. I could do the next best thing. Utini! So anyway, thank you very much for the super chat. Genuinely appreciated, my friend. And yes. Okay. So as far as the Oscars are concerned, and all of those awards, but specifically the Oscars, I want you guys to, if you get a chance, look up Vanity Fair on YouTube. They have this one video. Type in like Vanity Fair Oscars, how they're done, or something to that effect. You will see a video. It's like 4 to 6 minutes long. I forget how long, and it goes into really good detail about how the Oscars are actually done. It's the best video out there. The second best video is one by that John Campea guy. They do the Collider videos. They actually do a pretty good one, but the best one is by far is the Vanity Fair one. They get into this like the science of how they actually do this, charts and everything. It's amazing. Anyway, yes, like they can explain it better than I can. And basically, it's people who are already on the in crowd, and they're just like, you know what I'm saying? This guy's up to get something great, and it's more like a friend thing. It's more of a buddy thing. It's not the fans voting on it. It's never the fans voting on it. It's just people saying, well, I think it's high time that this guy got an award for something. Yeah, but an award for what? An award for what? You know? So if a brand new actor gives a performance that blows everything away and gets people talking like, wow, this is amazing. He's brand new, so he can't even be nominated? Is that the argument? Because, well, we haven't given Scarlett Johansson something before? Hey, I'm all for Scarlett Johansson getting something. I 100% am, but how about it's not about putting people in line to get something? Because at some point, with all the members of the Oscars, all the Actors Guild members and everything, at some point it's going to get to the point where all of them have to be delivered posthumously. You know what I'm saying? You can't give them regularly anymore. It's impossible because there's such a long line of wait. It's like, well, this guy definitely deserves it at this point. This girl definitely deserves it at this point. How about you just have one where the fans actually do it? Do the Blockbuster Awards still count? Are they still a thing? Because I remember that was actual fan votes. And that's what I actually care about. I honestly like the Oscars, they look really cool because they have a cool comedian talking and a bunch of people, oh, they're getting rewarded. Oh, that's so great. But honestly, we don't get to vote on that. It's just a bunch of actors talking to each other. And let's be realistic. Martin Scorsese, who's done some amazing work, and I'm not offended by him saying, oh, the Marvel movies, the superhero movies, they're basically just, a theme park cinema. That's great, bro. Your opinion is very valid. I don't know how much people care about it because we're more likely to go and see those movies than we are to see your movies at this point. And the only way you were able to fix that is by making one of those movies. And you didn't want to have anything to do with it, but you still produced it. Your name is still attached to it. The only reason why the Joker is getting all those nods is because Martin Scorsese's name is attached to it. That's literally the only reason why. You know, he could have made a movie about freaking, I don't know, what's a no-name character. He could have made a for crying out loud, I can't think of any no-name characters. I'm looking around. Okay. He could have made a Killer Shrike movie. And people would have been like, oh my God. And let's be realistic. Tim Board's already left by now, I'm sure. And I don't think there's anybody else in here who can say, hey man, Killer Shrike, I know who that guy is. No, I don't think most people can. Okay, let's check out down here. Saud, more. I think it's $25 so far. I love you, man. Thank you. Who's your favorite storyteller in comics? One who you love following issue to issue, and then favorite in collections. Okay, favorite storyteller in comics. That's a really hard one, man. Like that is a genuinely hard one. Shoot. Mark Waid doesn't do series anymore like he used to. He's not even like the sole writer on Doctor Strange anymore. But Mark Waid is somebody who, when he gets on a book, he will change the character. He'll keep the character the same, but still do changes to the character without necessarily changing the character. He'll look at it from a way that the rest of us have never looked at the character before and just go, oh, you know what I'm saying? Take his work on The Flash. Barry Allen was whatever. I loved Barry Allen, you know what I'm saying? But all of a sudden they go and they make Wally West. And if anybody has ever liked anything about Wally West, if anybody sits there and says, "Oh, Wally West is my favorite Flash," you should thank Mark Waid. Am I wrong? Mark Waid made changes to a character that's already been changed in the first place. Barry Allen wasn't the original Flash. That's actually Jay Garrett. You know what I'm saying? Um, there have been other Flashes, but the idea is, let me take this off before it disappears. Dude, like, um, when he did Kingdom Come, which was limited, but still, and even what he's doing right now on Doctor Strange, what he's just did recently on Ant-Man, with the Ant-Man and the Wasp thing, but like what he's doing right now on Doctor Strange, he's always had the Eye of Agamotto, the Wand of Watum, saying all these different, the Book of the Vishanti. How about stuff of him? Where's the stuff of Strange, right? So when he makes the Scalpel of Strange and stuff like that, that's like, holy crap, here's this character who's been around since Ditko days. You know what I'm saying? This is a character as old as Spider-Man, and yet nobody, not one single person has ever looked at Doctor Strange and said, how come he doesn't make his own magical items? Meanwhile, Dungeons and Dragons players all over the place are like, well, yeah, shouldn't we make our own dungeon? Isn't that the goal, is to eventually make your own magical item? And Mark Waid looked at this and was like, hey, you know what you guys are missing? And he hands it to us. He hasn't changed Doctor Strange at all, but he's changed everything around Doctor Strange. And suddenly, holy crap, he's worked the character in a way that nobody ever thought before. And that's what Mark Waid does. I'm going to have to say that probably my favorite storyteller is Mark Waid. He just has this way of saying, okay, you want me to write this character? Not a problem. I'll write this character. And he puts the character up, and I'll step back and I'll look at it from different angles and say, okay, I'm going to do it like this. He questions the character, and it works. It freaking works. Mitch is leaving. Thanks for the chat and all that you do. Thank you. No worries. I'm honored, sir. Your weekly video on what's coming out makes my week. Thank you. Oh, I don't get nearly as many views on those as I'd like, but when I hear stuff like that, thank you. Because I'm not joking when I say every so often I look at that video, because it's a hard video to do. Like, my wife has to leave work early to come home so that she can get the kids from school instead of me that day, and so that I can use the car to drive up to the comic book store. And then I have to actually help them do what they're doing in order to do it. And then I have to drive back home during rush hour on a fairly major local highway. There is no other way to get back to my home from there. It's in a very inconvenient location in that regard, singular. And then I have to do all the editing and all that stuff and try and get it up. And like, it's genuinely the hardest video that I have to make. And there are days I'm like, you know what? I honestly don't feel the need to do this video. And I'm like, I'm going to do it just because there are some people watching it, you know what I'm saying? And I want to promote that store. I really do. I want to promote that store, and I want you guys to have something that's actually entertaining. But it would be so much easier for me to just be like, yeah, no. Like, it is really hard doing those. Let's see. Z Collects, how's everybody this Saturday? What's up? He's only 16 thumbs up. She-Hulk, She-Hulk, smash that like button. Yes, you know what? Z Collector is correct. Darn it, like that. Smash that like button. Show me that you actually care about these videos. Show me that you like the idea that I'm spending a Saturday night hanging out with you guys so you can ask questions of me and I can unadulterated give them to you instead of watching the Joker, which I really need to watch. Like, I really want to watch that movie. Dude, people are falling in love with that movie. I want to know what the hype is all about. Bub, all the hubbub. Oh my God. What do we got? Oh, Wade is a good one. Peter David is up there for me. I agree. Peter David would probably be a good number 2 for me. Anyone else think that Mr. Teeth has potential to become an iconic Batman villain? 100%. 100%. Okay, so I don't know why you don't have your name in there, but that's just funny, Clark. Anyway, Professor loves Walter Simonson's storytelling. I do. That's the impression I get after watching almost everything on the channel. Yes, I can do that. I could definitely be down with a Walter Simonson also. The guy is freaking amazing. Superman Birthright was also great. Heck yeah. All-Star Superman, all those Superman stories, man, freaking great. But Birthright, forget about it. Yes. When are we getting On the Horizons? That's a video that I don't see a lot of people watching. I get less than 1,000 views on that, and for having to read 3 books, one of them being a particularly long book, I can't see that as being worth my while to do. I'm sorry. It's a really hard one to do, you know? I was thinking about just starting an actual audio only podcast and just doing that because, and then maybe I'll just talk about like that, but like having to set the camera right and get the sound just right for that. And you guys got to understand, man, like unless you actually do videos, some people don't bother to sync their video and their audio together. They just use one device for that, but they're not great videos in that regard. And I don't do that. I actually use the separate devices so that the audio is clearer, you know? Um, that's that's hard work, man, because they never sync. You got to actually line them up, man. So that right there, like that's a really hard one. No, I'm not reading Midnight Vista. She-Hulk smashed. Suan is awesome. Hell yeah, Suan. Thank you, Z Collects. Do Wookiees count as people or animals? Oh, 100% people. 100% people. They're people. They're just furry people. They're furry people. Anyway, okay, so I reached the end of the comments. That's usually my cue that I can leave. Hey, James, thank you for the comic book reviews. Thank you for watching them. Honestly, thank you for watching them and liking them and sharing them and subscribing to the channel. I just got a marketing director. She's actually she's going to do my website. She's going to build a website for me. And because I'm never satisfied with anything that I do, I'm never satisfied with anything that I do. So I'm going to let her do it. I'm paying her to do it. It's going to be freaking awesome. And she's trying to help me out with social media also. It's not exactly like her expertise, but she is younger than me. She does understand the social media. She knows what all these different platforms are for. So yeah. And she's telling me that I have to more often say to like and subscribe and share and all those different things. It really helps the channel because it does. And I always just look at it as, why wouldn't somebody do that? But she says, no, people will actually watch your stuff and forget to subscribe. And it's funny, she's not wrong because I will actually look and I'll see people leave comments like, I've been watching your videos and I've been commenting on your videos and everything like that, but I never realized that I was never subscribed to your channel. I don't know why that's the case. And it's like, wow, she was right. And I shouldn't doubt. So kudos. So anyway, Mark got the first and last question. Yes, you did. And why wouldn't you? You're always here, dude. So all the love in the world, bruh. You deserve it. Okay, thank you, Suan. Thank you for also being like my most active moderator. You are freaking awesome. And I am going to bounce. So love, peace, and hair grease, my peeps. I am out. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.